Now, today, you would have noticed 0 new cases of coronavirus in New South Wales, in Victoria and in Queensland. This is awesome. Duck egg, duck egg, duck egg, 0, 0, 0. Donut, 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 whatever the hell you want to count them as, right? Awesome, okay? But even today, when there were 0 cases in New South Wales, Victoria or in Queensland, we had to have political leaders that, of course, were not consulting the great medical journals. Instead, they're going to goldilocks, where we have to work out whether things are too hot, too cold or just right. And we learned today out of Queensland, despite the fact that there are 0 cases of coronavirus in Queensland, that parents who don't have coronavirus won't be able to take children who don't have coronavirus past the school gate for their first day of school, where, of course, they would then meet other parents who don't have coronavirus, other kids who don't have coronavirus, and then, of course, be handed over to teachers who don't have coronavirus. This is for prep that's coming up. In New South Wales, the Goldilocks book was getting a run too, because despite the fact that there are 0 cases in New South Wales in the past 3 days alone, and it's been incredibly low for a few weeks now, the Goldilocks book is being consulted to work out just how many people you may or may not be allowed to have over at your house for Christmas lunch or dinner, despite the fact that, of course, none of them would have coronavirus either.
Say to families who are preparing for Christmas and New Year's, please assume that the current health orders are in place. Anything beyond this is a bonus.
Back to the chat with Barnaby Joyce, with Jim Molan and Nicholas Rees. Nicholas, I'll start with you. As a man who has just gone through the Goldilocks process that, a few days ago, 26 Ks would kill you, 24 Ks was okay, and 25 was just right. And then this week you can go wherever the hell you want. And then 2 weeks ago, if it was 4 Ks would be all right and 6 Ks would kill you. Look, I get rules, right? But these are a little Goldilocksy at this point, particularly in Queensland. If no one's got the virus, but you still can't drop your kids off for their first day at school, grow up.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on this one, Paul. It does seem quite harsh. I mean, I say that as a parent who's probably pretty jaded. I've got 3 kids. We have 3 drop-off times for each of our kids here at Victorian schools because they stagger all the start times for different year levels. And, look, taking a kid to a school gate is a distant dream here in Victoria. You have to drop them some distance from the school and let them go.
Fire them out of a cannon.
The final leg. And just to add to that, I mean, my daughter was in a school play tonight, but of course it wasn't a school play where we couldn't go to a theatre, couldn't watch it live. We had to watch the webcast, which was all recorded by kids doing it into their computers. So this is how life has played out for us over the last. Did
she have a real role, or was she playing a tree?
No, she was a living human being, but rather being on a stage, she was doing it into that little pinhole camera on her laptop. Anyway, that's how we're living. The point being that going forward to January or February 2021, I mean, I would be hopeful that we've racked up so many weeks or months at that stage of double donuts that it's time for life to resume some sort of normality, and that would mean allowing prep kids to be dropped by their parents. I really
correct. But Jim Molan, let alone the fact that, of course, they came out and said that 90% success rate with the vaccines that are there currently. But again, this is the politics, right? The same way politicians wrote it as they were locking things down. Oh, please kiss the ring because Daddy's taking care of you, right? And then they want all of the distraction announcements, which are the easing of things, and then they want the little bit in the middle where we'll decide whether next week you can hang out with your family or not. Come on, 0 cases in Queensland.
Yeah, there's an abundance of prudence out there, Paul, but I must admit that I have a feel over a long time where when you don't fully understand what's going on, but by now, of course, we do, when you don't fully realise or understand what's going on in a situation, it is a management technique to make the big rule. And we've done that through the early stages when we didn't understand what was going on, and it didn't worry me. Lock the place down, 5 kilometres, 25 kilometres. I reckon there is a real basis in doing that. Now that we understand much more about what COVID is and how COVID works, we can... it is worthwhile us, for 1,000 different reasons, the social reason, the economic reason, to take a couple of risks. And that's what I'm not seeing because I have a fairly high degree of confidence that the risk will pay off quite well. 90% don't get it, 3% get sick over it, all of these figures, but there is a benefit in taking risk, and that's why you take risk.